Woman avoids jail after being found guilty of false rape
Oh, what a
claim.
shock.
No one's raping this. Let's just put that out there. And also, it's her second time.
And guys, remember,
The second
these
time
never
she's
happen.
made up
This
a
never
fucking fantasy
happens.
story.
TJ, can we rewind this because this doesn't happen? Remember?
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, false accusations.
A woman who falsely claimed she was raped for attention-seeking purposes has been given a suspended sentence. Gail Chambers, who uses a wheelchair and who has a history of wasting police time by making false allegations, concocted a very lurid and graphic account that she was raped in her Lurgan home in October 2015. Newry Crown Court, sitting in Belfast, heard that the man she accused was arrested, but
Intimate.
had intimate samples
intimate.
taken.
It says intimate. I guess it means intimate. Had intimate samples taken and was then subjected to police interview.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Was this guy like just the most hideous guy you've ever seen in your life, or was like
It's probably like the hot doctor that lived down the street.
you know? It's like who would believe this story? So they arrested this guy based on her saying he did it.
Yep.
Isn't that fucking beyond ridiculous? That just means that one of us here could just be accused like he did it, and then we're going to be arrested and automatically assumed to be guilty.
Yeah, I mean, if your next door neighbor said, "Yeah, my neighbor over there, he raped me. He came in here and raped me," the cops are going to come arrest you. Yes.
Yep.
And that's just fucking shocking.
They're going to take
based
samples.
on what?
Like if
Based on someone's
if you didn't
tale.
do it, chances are they're not going to find anything of you.
Yeah, sure, but I mean,
they're
the
gonna
fact
make you
that
give
like,
samples,
imagine if your neighbor said that to you, Paul, and you were arrested. I mean, would you just be like, well, I mean, I'm going to be found innocent? Yeah, sure, at some point, but like, you were arrested based on someone just saying something about you.
I believe there's records of things like that too. So it'd be like forever on your record, like arrested for rape. I wasn't convicted. Yeah, that's great.
You weren't convicted.
We're going to pick someone else for this job opportunity.
Yep. It's
So-
a totally fucking broken system.
It's fucked up. And I have a related story. Rape charges against 4 California dentists dismissed.
Oh, well, this is also fake news.
after video contradicts woman's story. So these 4 guys here were
Wow,
arrested.
so video evidence that proves she
This
was
dude-
full of
I
shit.
mean, I know this guy's an innocent guy and shit, so I don't want to besmirch him, but
He looks guilty.
He looks guilty.
He looks like he knows he
But
was
what
caught
happened?
for
and he
rape.
looks like Beavis and Butthead had a love child.
So one,
He kinda does.
He does. But so one, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? And two, why? If they actually investigated, which they did, they would have found this and said, you know what, her story doesn't hold water. But these people were already arrested, already spent time in jail, did all this bullshit because someone made an accusation. Again, how is it an accusation can now just lead to someone being arrested? I mean, I understand if there's a credible accusation, like someone witnessed it, there's evidence, and it's like this plainly happened. But if someone just tells a story, that story should be investigated thoroughly and then found, oh, wait, you were found on camera here, or they were found on camera here. That's impossible.
So 4 dentists from California, including 3 brothers, who face rape charges for the alleged assault of a woman at the Wynn Las Vegas hotel, had all charges dismissed in court Monday. Charged were Ali Badkube and brothers Poria Edelat, Samin Edelat, and Sinna Edelat. The charges included sexual assault, conspiracy to commit sexual assault, and first-degree kidnapping for the late July incident. Prosecutors dropped all charges during a very brief hearing Monday before Las Vegas Justice Court Judge Eric Goodman.
I hope the fucking state has to also and her have to pay all their fucking lawyers' fees.
So they said after a review of the facts of the case, it was clear that the allegations were completely fabricated. By the way, so this
But you
happened-
still charged them, prosecutor, so it's all fabricated. So what was the case based on? Was it based on evidence? Clearly fucking not. It was based on bullshit. This guy should be disbarred,
There was
dude.
video evidence confirming the men's innocence. The state has cleared them of all charges. That took from late July until now to do that.
So just an endless nightmare in these people's lives. They've been in jail.
You're accused of rape. You are charged with rape. There's video evidence exonerating you, and it takes how many months now
3
from
months.
July? 3 months?
Well, let's say 2 months, even being generous.
2 or 3 months for the charges to even be dropped. And there were charges filed against these guys based on nothing more than this woman said had happened. So that's worse than being just arrested. That's being charged. That's going to a hearing, you know?
And your name being read out as you're here's the counts against
accused
you.
rapist.
accused of sexual assault. And not only that, TJ,
But
and from your own pocket, you have to pay for a legal defense because obviously you're not just going to, being a dentist, just go,
but
okay, well.
hashtag believe women, hashtag believe the victims. We do, and it's a problem because this happens. No one should just be believed.
Well, just think about like the fucking think about the dudes that like if they weren't dentists and were accused of this shit.
They'd be fucked.
They didn't have the money to get a legal team that was actually going to dig through and find this.
Yeah,
video
if they had a
evidence
public
and shit.
defender, it'd be like,
Play
look,
it
you
out.
guys are best off just pleading
Play it out.
guilty.
Play it
Let's
out.
come to a deal. We got to come to a deal. The evidence against you is too strong. A woman
Yep.
said something.
Plead guilty, and you'll basically get 2 years in prison instead of 15 years in prison.
We need to get rid of this myth that women do not lie about this. They do. We need to get rid of this idea that victims should automatically believed unskeptically. They shouldn't. I'm sorry for all of the genuine victims out there that have to wait and go through due process.
Here,
because
victims should be
it's
listened
bad
to.
and it's horrible.
Victims should be
Yeah,
listened to.
They should be listened to
But-
and sympathized with,
and say,
but
let's find the root
not
of what
automatically
happened.
believed.
Well, let's investigate and figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of times that is the truth.
If there's a crime, there should be a fucking investigation.
This applies evenly across everybody. Nobody, regardless of victim status or not, should be automatically believed
No.
at face
There
value.
was a person, and this is not
Period.
even a rape case, but there was a guy, and I forget his name, but he was on death row. And he was on death row because there were 2 eyewitnesses to him committing the crime. Guess what? The 2 eyewitnesses were the actual murderers.
Yeah.
And he was convicted on the strength of their testimony.
What a
and
fucking
and
crock
he
of
spent
shit.
18 years in prison before it was finally figured out that he was wrongfully there. And he
Was it like a Innocence Project DNA thing?
he could have very easily been executed for that crime.
Or spent his life in prison.
There's that movie about Randall Dale Adams, who was accused of shooting a fucking police officer in Houston back in the 70s.
Yeah. No
Who-
evidence, just
No
a couple of
evidence,
witnesses.
shitty public defender, pled out, totally innocent of the crime. The dude that accused him was the one that did it.
Yeah.
What a shock.
So fucking
The key
ridiculous.
witness that fucking convicted him
Well,
was
save his
the
own
one
ass.
that shot the fucking cop.
Basically saving his own ass. Yeah.
And it's only because Errol Morris made a fucking movie about it that case was overturned and that guy ever got out of jail.
Yeah.
He
Well,
was on death row.
I mean, we've seen so many
Texas.
miscarriages of justice. I mean, like
Look,
what was it?
there's
was
a-
the West Memphis 3?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many examples in our culture of the justice system making a fucking bad call. So, I mean, and if you actually now read about public defender departments and see news stories on them, most of them are underfunded or not funded at all,
yeah,
basically.
and they have way too many clients. Look, a very serious discussion needs to happen in this country about 3 things for me in terms of our criminal justice system. I mean, more than that, but the 3 things that really stick out in my mind is public defenders suck, and that whole system needs to be reformed. Rape victims should not be uncritically believed, and in a broader sense, eyewitness testimony needs to be taken. We need to take a critical look at that because it's not reliable.
It needs to be backed by evidence.
Yeah,
there needs to be
We need
evidence
physical
that
evidence. We need
corroborates their
scientific
story.
evidence. We cannot just rely on "I saw it happen."
And we need to work on creating a culture where women aren't afraid to come forward, because that's when there's evidence. That's when there's something that links the attacker to the attack.
Yeah.
You need to do it then.
They need to go to the
Yeah.
hospital and get the rape kit test, and all that shit needs to happen.
So I'm totally down with listening to victims and shit, but every accusation, no matter sexual or not, rape or not, should be investigated before anybody's fucking charged with a crime.
It has to be.
and unfortunately, that's just not the way.
I mean, because that fucking really violates your rights of to be thought of as innocent, because you're basically presumed to be guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty. There's no other standard. That has to be the standard.